Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is mixtressrae. You're watching Mixtress video. Guess what? It's nighttime and the lighting is not the worst. Guess why? I got a $20 ring light, guys. I am fucking high tech now. Okay. So I'm doing a VR today. Kind of want a little bit more. I mean, I'm used to showing you guys what my... It's weird, though, that cross is in the background. I have this... Okay, let me just explain it. Because I'm not really a cross person. Not that I need to explain it, because it's totally cool when you are a cross person. I'm totally fine with that. But this cross here is a rosary that I got on a road trip with my best friend. Her grandma, this used to belong to her, and she gave it to me because I was like fascinated by all the her grandparents are Catholic. I think, yeah, they're both gone now, but this was a long time ago. Her grandparents were both Catholic, and I was really fascinated by all the Catholic iconography because I grew up Baptist. And so she gave me that rosary. So anyway, look how great this lighting is. I'm happy. And this is on like one of the lower settings because I don't like super bright light. Anyway, really happy with it. $20. Cool. Okay, so today I'm doing the one deck for every sign tag or whatever it is. Like the accurate tag will be in the title because I'm not totally sure. So I'm going to go in order. So Aries. Aries for me is no question, didn't even have to think about it because I've actually done this myself before, categorizing decks as signs. So some of these answers I had a clear idea going into this. For me, Wild Unknown is Aries because I guess I should do this shit on camera, right? Because when I put it in that order, that's funny. A lot of these decks are going to be in order because I put all of my tarot decks in order on January 1st. So you'll see which ones I've used so far. So when you first get a Wild Unknown deck, the card that is on the top, if it's brand new, is Ace of Wands. And whenever I was first learning tarot, it was kind of the beginning of my tarot journey, like the Aries part of my tarot journey was largely Wild Unknown, learning with Wild Unknown. And I got so many Wands cards that first year I was really hardcore learning tarot back in 2019 because it was a new pursuit for me. Like I'd had tarot decks before, but I just didn't really learn tarot until 2019. And it was just a significant time for me. And so I guess I could be flipping while I'm talking. A lot of the images in this deck informed how I view tarot. And this is possibly my favorite Seven of Wands of all time. This is the way I think of Seven of Wands. And it's not like that with every single card, but it's like that with a lot of cards. Like this is the iconic Nine of Wands in my mind. Anyway, so I learned tarot with this deck, and it is I'd say it's very fiery. It's very basic. It's very nature. It's very impulsive. Like the style of art is very impulsive. So this is definitely my Aries deck, 100%. Let's look at some majors. And I put it in this is my favorite chariot too. Let's show you the Aries card. So in a lot of these cases, some of the time I need to scoot closer because man, I'm having tripod back issues lately, guys. Okay. Let's see. So in a lot of the cases that you're going to see, I picked the card I picked based on my favorite, like, Like for example, like with my Scorpio pick, like my favorite death card is in the deck that I'm going to show you. I didn't do that with every single one of them. Like this maybe isn't my favorite Emperor, but Emperor is Aries, and I fucking love this Emperor card. Love it. And it was the first Emperor card that I could really even get behind, honestly. Okay. Yeah, I am going to put everything back in the box because I always do. Okay, Taurus. For me, Taurus is earthy and kind of mothering and has beauty within it. I definitely wouldn't say, since Taurus is ruled by Venus, I wouldn't say that this is a particularly beautiful deck. But for me, I don't know. I don't even know what it is. But for me, Taurus is the RWS. And I did partially pick this because of the Empress. And I do think of Empress as being kind of a Taurus energy, and I just realized recently I shouldn't be thinking that because Taurus is Hierophant. But I hate the Hierophant in this deck. And by the way, something that I don't know if I shared with you guys, but it's a realization that I made recently. You know how everybody lately has been bitching about the Empress being pregnant in a lot of tarot decks? Well, you know what annoys me more than the Empress being pregnant in a tarot deck? Perfect timing. Oh, look, there's the Empress too. What annoys me even more than that is when the fucking Hierophant is a Pope. Like, there's so many decks that, like, particularly when it doesn't make any sense. Like, for example, like with the Ludi Lesket and other decks that have like a particular theme, like the Ludi Lesket is like gothic vampires, blah, blah, blah. Why is there a fucking Pope in that deck? That makes no sense to me. Anyway, when I think of Taurus, I think of this Empress card. I just do. So that is why I picked the RWS as my Taurus deck. And in the original video for this that created this hashtag, she used particular keywords to go with each of the signs. I'm not using those, just so you know, because I just have very strong ideas of astrology myself, so I just decided not to use those. So just so you know, go to the original creator who made this tag, which I will have in the either the title or the description or both, to get those keywords or to do the VR right. I'm not doing the VR right, just so you know. So next we have Gemini, and I did pick this one for a couple of reasons, because I think of Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Gemini is about communication and like clear communicating. And also, Gemini is the Lovers card, and Lovers is my soul card. So I picked my soul deck. I picked the deck that has my favorite Lovers card, and I picked the deck that I communicate the best with. This deck is the deck that I can have like pretty much a conversation with. Like, it really feels like I'm having a conversation with this particular deck. And so that is Marigold Tarot. I just used this one. I've been like doing a little bit deeper dives with my tarot decks lately, and I just used this one. I still am getting like, probably because of where I placed the ring light like just right here, and maybe it should be in a different placement, but this is how I can get it to the power. I don't know shit about lighting or anything like that, guys, as I'm sure you can tell. So this is the deck that like I communicate really, really well with. So I'm going to flip until we get to that Lovers card. I was going to put those on top beforehand, but I forgot to prepare. You guys know. If you watch my channel, you know I don't fucking prepare for shit. There it is. Favorite Lovers card of all time, which I say every time it's on screen. Just the fact that they're looking into each other's souls. Can you guys hear in the background? Michael is playing with his synthesizers. So just so you know, if you are ever watching one of my videos, or if you listen to my podcast and you ever hear like strange ambient sounds in the background, it's probably because Michael's playing with the synthesizers in the other room. Most likely. Okay, so that's my Gemini pick. Cancer for me is very nurturing, very motherly and compassionate. Cancer for me is Queen of Cups. So I picked, for me, Queen of Cups is also the tarot reader. So I picked a deck that works the best with the most people in my experience. Like, this is the deck that, prior to me owning Lightseers has kind of become the deck that I use for clients right now. But most of the time that I've had a tarot reading Etsy shop, I have used this deck more often than not, and that is Sasrae Beto. Although in this particular case, I do not like the Chariot card in this deck, so I did not own this one. Still in order because I have not used it yet this year. But this is just a very emotionally communicative deck, emotionally evocative. I don't really use it for myself, but I use it for clients. So now I have someone vying for that spot of like most used with clients deck. So now that I have Lightseers Tarot, because that one is also really loves to communicate with others. Next is Leo, and I wanted some cat energy for my Leo deck. So I chose Tarot of the Cat People. So this deck has a cat, and usually several cats, in every single card. Ooh. And also, let's just go ahead and find the Strength card while we're here, since I'm trying to show the Major Arcana example of each deck. Oh, here we go. It's a pretty good Strength card too. All right, so that is my Leo choice. Also just painted my nails or touched up my nails. So every box I'm touching is just making my nails more and more sloppy. Okay, next, Virgo. For me, Virgo is very analytical. To me, Virgo is the most likely to be like esoteric and have a ton of symbolism baked into it. And so the deck that makes the most sense for me, as far as Virgo is concerned, is the Thoth Tarot. This one is likely in order. I don't think I've used it this year. Nope. And plus, it does have a really amazing Hermit card. So let's just take a second to take it in. Yeah, I like my new lighting, actually, I think. This is good. Can actually see things at night. And probably it would be a good idea to use this lighting even during the day, because I usually just use natural light if I film during the day. Okay, next, Libra. And because I am like an ultra mega Libra, I have like, I'm Libra rising, Libra sun, Libra Venus, Libra, so many things that I wanted something really pretty for Libra, because I do think Libra being ruled by Venus, like for me personally, I am a person that always has to control the atmosphere, as I'm sure you've noticed. Like I usually put a certain filter on my videos because it's very important to me that lighting be perfect, sound be perfect, smell be perfect. Like I create an atmosphere in my life. It's also part of being a mixtress. I create an atmosphere. So Dark Wood Tarot for me is probably the prettiest deck I have. It's down so I don't set anything on fire. Is still in order though. Have not used it yet this year. That's a little bit sad because I do think of it as like another soul deck, but I have been concentrating on new decks a lot this year so far. So let's go ahead and show off the beautiful Justice card in this deck. So there you go. That is my Libra pick, because I was picking it based on beauty alone, basically. Okay, next I'm cheating for Scorpio because I could not decide between two different picks for Scorpio, which is around Halloween time. So my favorite death card is in the Santa Muerte Tarot. Probably my favorite, definitely one of my favorites, if not my absolute favorite. And then Halloween Tarot, because Halloween time is during Scorpio season. So, and this is like one of my top 5 favorite decks. So I had to have it in here somewhere. Another one that's still in order. Let's go ahead and show the death card in this. And it's just such a fun deck. Scorpio is not necessarily a fun sign overall, but Halloween has a lot of whimsy in it. And the fact that Scorpio... But I do know a couple of Scorpios in my life that come to mind are very, very whimsical. So I think there's sort of like the dark side of Scorpio, but then there's also the whimsical side of Scorpio, right? So I think it makes sense that we've got these two here. Another one that's still in order. But I only use Santa Muerte during like the fall months, honestly. Such a beautiful deck that I've had since I've had it since the beginning, like the first few months of me getting obsessed with tarot. There's that beautiful Santa Muerte death card. That's where I'm okay. I'm okay with a pregnant death card, but not a pregnant empress. So those are my Scorpio picks. Next is Sagittarius. One of my very favorite Sagittarius cards is in this deck. Sagittarius might be the most grounded of the fire signs, I would say. Yeah, I think so. Because it's the last cycle of the fire sign. So I think Sagittarius is probably the most mature of the fire signs. So I associate vampires with earth, but also fire. So Tarot of Vampires is my Sagittarius pick. This one is not in order because I have done like a week study with it so far this year. But I do want to find that Temperance card because I love the Temperance card in this deck. I know this deck so fucking well that I can flip through it pretty quickly. Watch, I'll flip past it and not even realize it now that I've said that. Love this. This is just such a... It's funny because I didn't like this deck at first and I got rid of it. But then I got it again. Maybe flipping... There we go. Through this entire deck. It's really powerful, Sagittarius. Temperance energy. I love it. I love that she's like dancing. Very dynamic image for sure. So that is my pick for Sagittarius. Next, Capricorn. Which is Earth, right? Yeah, Earth. So this is kind of a stretch, like, for Capricorn. But Capricorns are like insistent upon being different. And they're also an Earth sign, so they're very grounded. And they're also the Devil card. And they also, I can see there being sort of a shamanistic tone to a Capricorn energy. So all of that kind of led me to Crow's Magic, which is a very unique deck, and it's out of print, so it's hard to find, and that just feels like a very Capricorn energy, like, yeah, I'm out of print. You know? So let's find the Devil card. And this is such an interesting deck. Suddenly I just forgot how to talk. And I don't necessarily, like, I didn't even remember what the Devil card looked like in this deck, so. But it's a good one, for sure. If anybody wants to sell me their Crow's Magic guidebook for a reasonable price, not $300 like they're trying to sell it for on eBay, then hit me up. Send me an email. Email's in the description. Next is Aquarius. So I don't know a whole lot about Aquariuses, except that for the longest time I thought they were a water sign because Aquarius is the water bearer, but they are an air sign. So I decided to pick a deck that I think is trying to make a twist on a traditional tarot system, because I do think that's kind of an Aquarius thing. Aquarius is kind of like King of Swords energy, right? So they're really, really smart and studious, and they know how to, but also the age of Aquarius is like doing things in a new sort of open-minded way. So there's an open-mindedness to Aquarius energy. It's just kind of a spiritual sign, spiritually intellectual. So I thought of Modern Witch because it has one of my favorite star cards also, but it was intentionally made to be, you know, the modern RWS, you know, to take Pixie's artwork and make it now, right? And people have a lot of criticisms of this deck, but I still really love it. And this one's also one that comes out a lot for clients. And I have two copies of this deck. I have this one that is the German version trimmed of everything, even the titles. And then I have like just a regular trimmed version that still has the titles on it that I keep in the bathroom because I use it in the tub. Because that fucking terrible high gloss cardstock that the American version comes with is pretty much impervious to water. Okay, it's the water bearer. Okay. All right. Last, we have Pisces. And for me, Pisces is very, very dreamy, very much overly emotional, very empathetic. Like, they contain so many contradictions within them. So a deck that I find to contain a lot of contradictions. This is a deck that, like, cards that normally would be considered like sort of like negative or bad, there's a positive twist. And any cards that are normally positive will have sort of a darker edge to it in this particular deck. And this deck is very emotionally evocative. This deck does not follow rules. This deck contains a lot of contradictions within it because of those meaning things. So I picked for Pisces, Tarot of the Sweet Twilight. I'm actually pretty happy with the choices that I made, I think. This one's also still in order. But this one's like a forever deck. Like, I think this is like possibly top 10 for me. I like it a lot. Makes me very happy. So Pisces is the moon card. And Tarot of the Sweet Twilight. Twilight, moon, you know. And it's supposed to be like sort of that liminal space between day and night. And that's why everything's sort of like, there's a ground, the meanings in this deck, they're grounded in RWS meanings, but then there's a twist. Like, for example, this being the Six of Wands, this person has achieved what they wanted to achieve. Maybe they created this little jack in the box, and maybe they've, you know, there's the wand here. They've achieved something, and it's time for recognition of their, but there's a death. Once you've achieved what you set out to achieve, it's like the death of a goal because you've achieved it. So now it's time to move on, right? So sometimes achieving a goal can be bittersweet. And yeah, I just love this deck. I just love this deck so much. It makes me really happy. So that is my pick for Pisces. And so that's it. I hope you enjoyed my choices. I really enjoyed doing this tag. So thank you to the person that created it, which I actually, because I'm doing a no internet month, I don't actually know at this exact moment who that is, but thank you to that person. I haven't actually seen the original video because I'm doing a no internet February, and I just found out about this tag and I just had to fucking do it. So here it is. Thank you for letting me do it, guys, and I will see you soon.